Okay, today we're headed back up Costa Blanca on the tram. Guys, if you come to Alicante or anywhere north of Alicante in the tram system, use the tram. It's super easy to use. It's so convenient. We love it, and we're probably going to use it 2 or 3 more times while we're here. But yeah, use the tram.
Yeah. So we are heading up to Calp, and then we're also going to head to Altea, both up the north up the coast, and go check those out. We've heard some really great things about them. Had some viewers let us know to go check them out, so we want to go see what's there. But first, because yesterday was a holiday and the day before that was Sunday, grocery stores are closed here on those days. So we are going to be heading over to the bakery here and grab something before we hop on the tram. So here we go.
La destinación desde el Tram es...
Okay, so tram trip tip of the day. When you get on the tram headed north, sit on the right-hand side of the train. That's the seaside. That's the Mediterranean seaside.
And you get a beautiful view for majority of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right-hand side headed south. Left-hand side of the train for the same reason. Tram trip tip. Second thing, bonus tip: keep your tickets. Keep them out and ready. A conductor may come by and check for your tickets. We've been on the tram 3 times.
Yeah.
Only once has he come by to do it, but make sure you have your tickets.
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon. We made it to Calp, Spain. 2 hours north from Alicante, right along the coast. It's a beautiful trip. We made it. Let's go see what we find. Okay, one of the things you want to do when you're in these little old towns, small communities, is just get lost. Right now, I'm not sure where Carrie's at. I'm not sure where I'm at, but it doesn't matter because you're going to find the water, which is always down. You're going to find a pub, which is always good. And right now, I'm looking for both. I said I was looking for both. I meant all 3. I'm looking for Carrie also. Which is kind of the most important, I suppose. But yeah, I found her. She's behind me, I believe. There she is. What are you doing? You getting thirsty?
Yeah. Let's go find a beverage.
That's what I'm thinking.
So we just walked through the old town here in Calp, and we are now going to head down to the water and see what we can find down there. See if we can find ourselves a little beverage
find a beer.
And a little view of the water. It looks like it might be a little stormy.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I don't know. I guess if you're into beaches. Almost trip.
Beautiful down here. I don't know what that
I don't know either. Probably should have Googled that big rock before we put it on video. We'll put it in the description below.
Okay, so So we did our research and we Googled it, and the rock behind me here is called Calp Rock, which, you know, the name of the town's Calp, so we weren't far off.
That's hard to figure out.
Okay, so when you take the train, it's going to let you off right about here. And that is a pretty long walk in. There is a bus that actually sits right outside the train station here in Calp, and they know when the tram is coming, so you can just go ahead and hop on that. It will take you right down to, I think it takes you right down here to this beach area. So that might be a better route to go. We chose to walk it.
All right, just spent the day in Calp, very nice little town. Cool beach, the beach is fantastic. I can't imagine that beach in July, I'm sure it's insane. Now, the bus behind me, when you get off the tram, when you get here, get on that bus. We walked by it, not knowing any better. That bus takes you right into town. We walked the 2 miles or whatever it was to get there. Get on the bus. It's way, way more convenient.
So we are here in Altea, and we have walked to one end of the town, but not a whole lot going on there right now.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No, it's that end of the town is definitely very touristy, and right now is off season. So
it's really quiet. There's nobody there.
Really quiet, and everything is closed, really. I mean, there's a couple places open, but anyway, so now we're going to go up to Old Town, which is really what brought us here anyway, and we're gonna go check that out. So we're walking around up here in Old Town, and if you've ever been to Santorini, Greece, which is absolutely one of my favorite places that I've been, this is so similar to that. So I would definitely highly recommend it. It's got all these winding little narrow streets and white buildings and the cobblestone paths, and so we're going to show you some of that.
Okay, it's been a long day. We're heading back to the tram now. We're gonna finish this video back in Alicante because I'm hangry, Terry's thirsty. So stay tuned. We gotta get the tram.
Plus we're getting a little chilly. It's getting a little bit cooler down here. It's very windy. So yeah, we're gonna head back and we will touch base here in a minute.
Full disclosure, we intended to get off the train last night and come to this spot and finish the video, but we got home and it was dark.
And we were exhausted, and it was a really, really long day. And honestly, if you plan on visiting both locations, I would really suggest, or we would both suggest, doing one day and one the next day or something, so that you can really fully enjoy each town, because each town has a lot to offer and a lot to see.
Yeah, we didn't really get enough time in Calp at all. The old town's really cute. It's really well maintained. We went down to the beach. The beach is fantastic. I could spend all day alone at the beach. It's probably one of the best beaches I've ever been on. But we didn't get to spend enough time. We had to get to Altea, so we hooked it back to the tram.
Then we headed off to Altea, which was about 15 minutes down the coast. And from there we just went, first we went down to the water and visited that, but honestly, like we mentioned in the video, I just don't know if I would spend a whole lot of time down at their beach. There's not as much to offer there. Definitely Calp is for the beach, and Altea is for the old town. We absolutely loved the old town. You can kind of just get lost up in there and wander around.
Did.
Yeah, we did. And just explore and spend time just really checking out all the little winding streets and little houses, and plenty to do up there. A lot of restaurants, and shops, and yeah, just a lot. We just found the one cathedral to go into. I'm not sure, there might have been more, but that was the main one at the top of the hill there.
2 or 3 lookout points, so you can just look over the whole city. It was really nice. We would probably go back to both. I would definitely go back to Calp. There's things that we didn't get to do, not only because we didn't have enough time. Calp Rock. It's not just called Calp Rock. There's an official name for it. I'm not going to try and say it, but the links are below, so check them out. But there's a hike around it. One of our viewers suggested we do that. Another one of our viewers actually bought property in Calp. She loved it so much, and I can't blame her. So, but yeah, it's definitely a 2-day trip. So fortunately, everything went off without a hitch. We got on the train, we got to Calp, we went down into the city. It was beautiful. We got back on the train, went to Altea.
Not so much.
What are you talking about?
So when we first taking the train up to, or the tram up to Calp, there's a stop that you have to get off, and you have to change over to another tram. So there's also a couple stops in Benidorm, which is the town that you are going to change your tram.
There's 3 stops.
Okay, yeah.
Don't get off at the second one.
Which is what we did. Best thing to know is get off when they say this is the last stop, because the train doesn't go any further beyond that. So just wait, get off at there, and we're gonna show you a little place where you need to get off and wait, and that was gonna save you a little bit of headache and problem. We were happy to see that other people made the exact same mistake we did.
So not only did other people make the same mistake we made, almost everybody got off the train, so we did too. And as soon as we got off the train, we realized that we weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
So we had to wait for the next train.
We had to wait, and then we got on, and it wasn't that big of a deal, but you know, it ends up a little extra time just hanging out there.
45 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes.
Big picture, it's no big deal.
Not a huge deal.
So then we get to Calp, and you get off the tram, and there's a green sidewalk that naturally you get on, you start walking, and you pass that bus that we mentioned before. Get on the bus, and it'll take you to town. When you're on the bus, or before you decide to go back to the tram, look and see when the bus takes you back to the tram, because we didn't do that either. So not only did we walk down that green sidewalk, cross a freeway, and make it down into town. We did the same thing coming back.
We did the same thing coming back, and one of the other things we did was we thought, well, maybe we took the wrong path. So we Google mapped it to see if maybe there was a more safe way to walk back where you're not actually crossing like a freeway. But Google Map takes you that exact same way. So we highly recommend taking the bus that's waiting there for you. They know the schedule of the tram. It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, I think it was such a fantastic day. Highly recommend both locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
right.
that was our day. Make it 2 days, because this ended up being 2 days anyway.
It really did. Yeah.
So, anyway.
So definitely subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all of our videos, and hit the like button. Helps us out. And we'll see you on the next video.
Cheers.
Cheers.